The motor cortex is organized like a map of the human body, but it is a distorted map. Body parts are not represented equally. The paracentral gyrus, which sits on the medial inner wall of the hemisphere, specifically provides motor output for the trunk and lower limbs. The upper limb representation occupies the lateral convexity of the motor cortex, meaning the outer surface of the brain. The face representation is the most lateral and inferior, positioned toward the bottom outer edge of the motor strip. This body map has enormous clinical relevance. Lesions affecting the medial wall of the hemisphere, such as those caused by blockage of the anterior cerebral artery or by a tumor pressing on the top of the brain, produce leg weakness that is often more severe than arm weakness. This pattern can sometimes be mistaken for a spinal cord problem because patients present with leg dysfunction while the arms work relatively well. Understanding that the leg area lives on the medial brain surface helps clinicians correctly identify the true location of the problem. For neurons near the ventral edge of the central sulcus, the target is facial muscles. Neurons on the medial surface of the hemisphere control leg muscles. Because the face, tongue, and hand perform extraordinarily complex, fine-grained movements in humans, a disproportionately large share of the motor cortex is devoted to their control, far more cortical territory than, say, the trunk or thigh, even though those body parts are much larger physically. In summary, somatotopic body mapping refers to the ordered representation of body regions in the brain, most clearly in the primary motor cortex and primary somatosensory cortex around the central sulcus, where different cortical areas correspond to different body parts on the contralateral side of the body. The available sources also show that this organization is not uniform across all motor pathways. Cortical body maps exist, but the primate corticospinal tract in the lower brainstem and spinal course appears to have substantial overlap rather than a clean somatotopic separation. In the postcentral gyrus, the primary somatosensory cortex receives tactile and proprioceptive input from the contralateral body and is organized topographically in a way similar to motor cortex. The motor cortex is organized by body region, so cortical lesions can produce weakness in specific body parts depending on which mapped area is affected. Somatosensory evoked potentials track signals from peripheral nerve to dorsal columns, medial lemniscus, thalamus, and then the contralateral somatosensory cortex. Mapping studies of the trigeminal system describe a complex, sometimes discontinuous facial and oral somatotopic map. The face is represented medially near the hand area, with more lateral representation of teeth and tongue. In the next video, we will discuss the descending corticospinal and corticobulbar pathways.